You were blamed, misunderstood, and doubted, but heaven never missed the truth. Exposure is approaching, and justice will speak for you. Chosen one, take a breath and feel this moment. Not everyone hears this kind of message, and not by accident. You didn't scroll into this by chance. Something unseen guided your steps here. Something patient, intentional, and holy. Heaven watched the nights you cried quietly, the days you carried confusion like a weight in your chest, the seasons where nothing made sense but you kept going anyway. And now in this exact moment, light is beginning to move where shadows once hid. There were things that hurt you deeply, wounds you never fully explained because words would have failed you. You were questioned when you told the truth, doubted when you stood firm, and blamed for storms you didn't create. You felt the tension between your calling and your pain, wondering how both could exist at the same time. Chosen one, that confusion wasn't weakness. It was evidence that something precious was being protected in you while forces worked overtime to bury it. What you didn't see was the investigation happening beyond your sight. While people whispered, heaven listened. While accusations formed, God gathered facts. Every tear was recorded, every betrayal noted. Nothing was overlooked, nothing dismissed. The delay was not denial, it was divine timing. Justice moves slowly only because it moves perfectly. And chosen one, before we go deeper, pause for a moment, hit subscribe, and comment, I received this, if your spirit is already responding, because this message is not random. It's a spiritual step, an alignment, a quiet agreement with what God is about to reveal in your life. There is a shift happening now. Light is pressing into hidden places. What was done in the dark is losing its power. The narrative that wounded you is about to collapse, and truth will rise without you having to defend yourself. God is preparing to expose what hurt you, not to shame you, but to vindicate you. Justice is not coming loudly at first, but it is coming surely. So stay here, chosen one. Lean in. Something buried is about to surface, and what's revealed next will explain everything you survived. Chosen one, there was a season when heaven felt quiet, almost distant. You prayed, you waited, you searched for signs, yet the truth you longed for stayed hidden. And in that silence, the enemy tried to convince you that God had stepped away. But hear this gently and clearly. God's silence was never abandonment. It was coverage. It was protection. It was love working behind the veil. Sometimes God covers before he reveals, because exposure is powerful, and power must meet the right moment. Think about it. If everything had been revealed back then, would your heart have been ready to carry it? Would your spirit have survived the weight of knowing too much too soon? God sees not just the truth, but the impact of the truth. He knows when revelation would heal and when it would harm. So he waits, not because he ignores injustice, but because he refuses to sacrifice you on the altar of urgency. Chosen one, divine love does not rush, it matures. While you felt overlooked, God was shaping you in hidden places. While you wondered why clarity hadn't come, heaven was strengthening your discernment, deepening your humility, softening your spirit. You were being prepared, not just to hear the truth, but to handle it without bitterness, pride, or collapse. Ask yourself, if God had exposed everything immediately, would you have been healed or hardened? There is mercy in delay, mercy for you and sometimes even mercy for those who hurt you. God is a just Father, but he is also a patient one. He allows time for hearts to reveal themselves naturally. He lets motives surface on their own. He lets patterns repeat until the truth no longer needs defending. And all the while, he keeps you covered, shielded from backlash, protected from misunderstanding, guarded from spiritual exhaustion. This is why the waiting felt intense. You weren't being ignored, you were being hidden. Like a seed under soil, unseen but alive. Pressure above, growth below. And now, chosen one, you may feel it shifting. The silence is thinning. The covering is lifting, not suddenly, not violently, but intentionally. God does not expose to embarrass. He reveals to realign. So let me ask you, can you trust that the delay was love? Can you see that God was working for you even when he seemed quiet? Stay with this moment, Because when God reveals, he does it with precision, with purpose, and with peace. And what comes next will make the waiting make sense. Chosen one, there are truths so powerful that if they arrive too early, they don't heal, they wound. Not because the truth is wrong, but because the season is wrong. God understands this deeply. He knows that revelation carries weight, and weight must be carried by a strengthened spirit. That is why some answers were delayed, some confirmations withheld, and some exposures postponed. It wasn't punishment, it was wisdom. There was a time when you begged God to show you everything. You wanted clarity immediately, thinking it would bring peace. But imagine receiving a truth before your heart had learned how to rest, before your identity was anchored in God rather than in outcomes. That kind of knowledge would have crushed you. It could have hardened your spirit, distorted your calling, or pulled you into battles you were never meant to fight. So God held back, not because he doubted you, but because he was protecting the future version of you. Even the chosen one must grow into certain revelations. Strength is built in stages, discernment is refined through silence, and maturity is formed when God teaches you how to wait without becoming bitter. Ask yourself this gently. If God had revealed everything then, would it have produced peace or panic? Would it have healed your heart or inflamed it? Waiting in God's hands is never weakness. It is training. While you waited, your spirit learned how to listen without reacting, how to trust without seeing, how to stand without defending yourself. These were not delays, they were lessons. Heaven was teaching you how to carry truth without dropping love, how to hold justice without losing humility. God also sees what others cannot. He knows when the people around you are not ready to hear the truth. Some ears would twist it, some hearts would misuse it, and some would use it as a weapon instead of a mirror. So God waits until the truth can stand on its own, until it no longer needs explanation, until it arrives with clarity instead of chaos. Chosen one, the season matters just as much as the truth itself. And now you may feel it, your heart steadier, your reactions softer, your faith deeper. That is not accidental, that is preparation. The truth you are about to receive will not shatter you. It will settle you. It will not overwhelm you. It will align you. So breathe, trust the timing, and ask yourself, what if the delay wasn't holding you back, but gently leading you forward into the moment where truth finally heals the way God always intended? Chosen one, there was a moment when you felt the urge to explain yourself, to defend your name, to correct every false version of the story spoken about you. Silence felt dangerous. Quiet felt like losing. And yet, God gently asked you to stay still. Not because the lies were acceptable, but because he knew something you didn't yet see. Lies do not survive truth forever. They exhaust themselves. This is where peace begins. When you understand that not every accusation deserves a response, and not every misunderstanding requires your voice. Silence was never surrender. It was strategy. Heaven does not panic when deception appears. God allows false narratives to speak, expand, repeat, and exaggerate until they reveal their own emptiness. Lies always need maintenance. Truth does not. Think about it, chosen one. If something is real, it stands even when no one protects it. But if something is false, it must constantly be defended, adjusted, and rewritten. God knew that if you stepped in too early, you would interrupt the process. Your defense would have delayed the collapse. So he taught you restraint. He taught you how to trust him with your reputation while he guarded your purpose. There is a divine law at work here. Deception overreaches. It adds unnecessary details. It contradicts itself. It grows louder, not stronger. And eventually it collapses, not because you attacked it, but because it could no longer support its own weight. Ask yourself this quietly. How many times have you watched a lie unravel without you saying a single word? God's strategy often looks like weakness to the world. Silence is misunderstood. Stillness is misread. But in the spiritual realm, restraint is power. While others spoke emotionally, you stayed grounded. While they reacted, you remained anchored. That was not passivity, that was maturity being formed in you. Chosen one, God also knew something about your heart. If you fought every lie, it would have changed you. It would have pulled you into cycles of anger, defense, and obsession. You were called to something higher, something cleaner, something that required a peaceful spirit. So God stepped in and said, I will handle this. You stay whole. And now look closely. The noise is fading. The confidence behind the false story is weakening. The same voices that spoke boldly are quieter now. This is how lies die, not with confrontation, but with exposure through time. Truth does not chase lies, it outlives them. So let me ask you, can you release the need to be understood by everyone? Can you trust that God is letting the false stories finish speaking so truth can enter without resistance? Stay calm, stay aligned. What's real is rising, and what was never true is already losing strength, even now. Chosen one, when you hear the word justice, your mind may rush to images of dramatic reversals, public apologies, or sudden downfall. But God's justice does not move the way human emotion moves. Scripture shows us something far deeper, far calmer, and far more powerful. God does not rush to punish. He moves to realign. His justice is not fueled by anger. It is guided by truth. Throughout the Bible, justice is rarely loud. It unfolds quietly, steadily, with precision. God corrects what is out of order, restores what was broken, and brings clarity where confusion once ruled. Think about it. When God intervenes, He doesn't just expose wrong, He rebuilds what was damaged by it. He doesn't simply tear down lies, He replaces them with truth that heals. Ask yourself, chosen one, would revenge have healed you, or would restoration serve you better? This is why God often delays. Immediate punishment might satisfy emotion, but it rarely produces transformation. God sees beyond the moment. He knows how to address the root, not just the symptom. Biblical justice is God stepping in and saying, this no longer aligns with my order. And once God realigns something, everything connected to it begins to shift naturally. Look closely at Scripture. Joseph wasn't vindicated by his brother's downfall. He was elevated into purpose. David wasn't justified by Saul's destruction. He was positioned into kingship. In each story, justice didn't come as revenge. It came as restoration. God clarified the truth over time until no explanation was needed. The alignment spoke for itself. Chosen one, this kind of justice feels different in your spirit. It brings peace instead of adrenaline. It brings understanding instead of chaos. When God moves, you don't feel the urge to celebrate someone else's loss. You feel relief, closure, and quiet gratitude. That's how you know it's divine. God's justice is also inevitable. It does not need your help, your timing, or your pressure. It moves like gravity, unseen, unstoppable, precise. Even when nothing seems to be happening, alignment is already in motion. Hearts are being exposed. Motives are being clarified. Paths are being redirected. So let me ask you, can you trust a justice that heals instead of harms? Can you release the desire for loud vindication and allow God to bring quiet clarity? Stay patient, chosen one. When God's justice arrives, it won't shock your spirit, it will settle it. And when everything is realigned, you'll realize God didn't just defend you, He positioned you exactly where you were always meant to stand. Chosen one, there will come a moment when the truth you carried quietly begins to surface. The atmosphere will shift. Conversations will change. The same people who doubted you may look at you differently. This is the moment many imagine, but few are prepared for. Vindication feels powerful, but it is also delicate. And God, in His wisdom, prepares your heart for after the truth is revealed, not just for the waiting before it. Exposure can awaken pride if you are not careful. That is why God softened you in secret. He allowed you to be misunderstood so your identity would not be built on applause. He let you be doubted so your confidence would be rooted in Him alone. Ask yourself this gently. If everyone suddenly acknowledged the truth, where would your heart run first? Toward celebration or toward gratitude? Humility is not weakness. It is protection. It keeps the blessing safe from corruption. When vindication arrives, humility reminds you that God defended you, not your own strength. It keeps your spirit clean when others feel exposed. It helps you respond with grace instead of superiority, with peace instead of satisfaction. Chosen one, the goal was never to be proven right, it was to remain aligned. Softness is part of your calling. Hard hearts cannot carry divine authority for long. God kept you tender so your victory would not turn into bitterness. This is why you learned to forgive before justice appeared. This is why your prayers changed from "fix them" to "heal me." That softness preserved your future. Without it, vindication would have damaged you more than the injustice ever did. There is also restraint required when truth comes out. Not every detail needs repeating. Not every wrong needs recounting. God's alignment speaks louder than your explanation. Silence, once again, becomes wisdom. Ask yourself, can you let God's work be enough without adding your voice to it? Chosen one, staying aligned matters more than being understood. Pride demands recognition. Alignment demands obedience. And obedience always leads to peace. When vindication comes, your calm response will confuse those who expected revenge. But heaven will recognize it as maturity. So guard your heart. Watch your reactions. Keep your spirit low and your faith high. This moment is not about winning. It is about remaining who God shaped you to be. And if you can stay humble in the light, just as you stayed faithful in the dark, God will trust you with even greater responsibility ahead. Chosen one, when the truth finally stands in the open, something unexpected happens. The noise fades. The urgency dissolves. What follows is not chaos, but quiet. This is the part few people talk about, the holy stillness that comes after revelation. After all the waiting, all the wondering, all the endurance, God does not rush you into celebration. He leads you into rest. Restoration in God's hands is rarely dramatic. It is gentle, intentional, and deeply personal. After exposure comes healing, not just of circumstances, but of the places inside you that learn to stay guarded. God begins to soften what had to harden to survive. He restores your ability to trust without fear, to hope without hesitation, to love without self-protection. Ask yourself, chosen one, when was the last time your spirit truly felt safe? Not everything returns the way it was. Some doors stay closed, some relationships remain distant, and that is not loss, it is wisdom. God does not restore what would harm you again. He replaces it with something pure, something aligned, something that can grow without wounding you. What he rebuilds carries clarity. What he restores carries peace. This is where divine protection becomes visible. The new season does not feel fragile like the last one did. You are stronger now, but also softer, wiser, but not suspicious. The restoration is quieter because it is deeper. God is not just fixing what broke. He is upgrading what carried you through the breaking. Chosen one, restoration also reshapes your purpose. You move differently now. You speak with gentleness instead of urgency. You choose peace over proving points. The calling that once felt heavy now feels natural because it is no longer burdened by unresolved pain. This is the reward of endurance, not applause, but alignment. And here is the beauty of it all. The very truth that once threatened your peace now protects it. What was hidden to guard you is now revealed to guide you. God turns the page without ripping it. He redeems the story without erasing the lessons. So let me ask you, can you embrace a restoration that is quieter than your pain but stronger than your past? Can you trust that what God rebuilds will last longer than what was lost? Stay still in this moment. Breathe it in. The truth has done its work. Justice has passed through. And now, chosen one, you are standing in the calm that only God can create, restored, protected, and ready for what comes next. Chosen one, as this message comes to a close, don't rush away from what you're feeling right now. That calm in your chest, that quiet clarity settling in, that's not emotion, it's alignment. Something has shifted because truth has passed through your spirit. And when truth moves, it always leaves peace behind. Remember this. You were never forgotten, never overlooked, never misjudged in heaven. What you survived was not meant to break you, but to prepare you. Every delay had purpose. Every silence carried protection. And every tear watered the ground where restoration now grows. You don't need to chase validation anymore. God has already spoken on your behalf. As you step forward from this moment, walk gently, walk humbly, Walk confidently. You don't owe explanations to your past, and you don't need permission to enter what God is opening now. Let the truth keep working. Let justice keep aligning. Let restoration keep unfolding in ways quieter and deeper than you imagine. And Chosen One, if this message resonated, if you felt seen, steadied, or strengthened, stay connected. These words weren't just for today, they're for the season you're entering. Take a moment to sit with God, breathe, and listen. He's not finished speaking. Until next time, remain anchored, remain soft, and remain faithful. What's ahead will not require you to fight. It will require you to trust, and you are ready.